Welcome to Pagan Coffee Talk. Here are your hosts, Oswan and Lord Night. So today's topic, we're going to talk about micro-labels.
Okay.
And what do we mean by micro-labels? Well, micro-labels are all of these that are coming out nowadays. You know, I'm a green witch, I'm a chaos witch.
Yeah, I'm a purple fairy, dragon witch, tooth fairy loving. 2 hours later, you're still listening to this. This is the description of somebody's personality.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry if you can't communicate, you know, your personality just by, I don't know, having one.
Well, the whole phenomenon with the micro labels, it's something that's popped up in just recent years, because I don't know why everybody suddenly has to identify as all these different things.
Well,
whatever happened to the days of I'm a witch?
I don't know. I mean, back in our day, it was just witchcraft. We had herbalism, we had apothecary, and now we have green witchcraft, which makes no sense to me because it's just herbalism and apothecary.
Right. Well, I mean, we've touched on that before, but now it goes further than that, because it goes into, I do dragon magic, chaos magic.
Yes, with my fey wand and my fey hood and my fey this and my fey. I've heard the same thing.
Right. So, I mean, where
me,
is this coming from, and is it really necessary?
No, it's not. I think it's just greed. It's people wanting to make money. You cannot copyright herbalism or apothecary, but a company can own the label green witchcraft. That's called something. They can copyright that.
Okay.
They can copyright that book. They can copyright that name because it's not a name we're used to.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And then eventually you can only get it from one source.
All right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't do this to the original, so you have to make up a new name to resell to people stuff that's already being taught for free by all traditional temples.
All right. So, I mean, how do we deal with this? I mean, if we tell people this is not necessary, then people are just going to get all up in arms, and they're going to be like, well, how dare you tell me how to label myself?
Well, I mean, if anything, I think we're doing it the other way around. We're saying, no, don't label yourself.
Don't put yourself in that box.
Don't put yourself in the box. How about this? Why don't you quit trying to be everything else and just be yourself?
That makes sense.
I mean,
I can totally see that, because that's the way it was back in our day. It wasn't, everybody's got something that they're really good at, but that doesn't define you as a witch.
Well, no, I mean, we don't have a lot of people that seem to be able to define anything. You got people going around going, hey, I'm trans, and that's their whole entire personality. You got people going around going, hey, I'm queer. That's their whole entire personality. I'm a bunch of these labels too, but it's not me.
Right, they don't define you.
No, they're not. They're not aspects of my personality. They're aspects of my life.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with me. I mean, it's like, I'm dyslexic. Trust me. This affects my life, but it don't affect anybody else. It's just me. It's my problem. But it's not my whole entire personality.
Right. I've never known it to define you as a person.
No. I mean, the fact is, yes, I will tell people, yeah, I'm dyslexic, blah, 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 whatever. Because I don't care. Because it's not defining me.
Right. It's not who you are. It's just part of who you are.
Right. And then you got, and I'm going to call this out, yes, and then you got people like Thorn Mooney who keeps on pushing this stuff, which makes me think she only cares about making money and not the growth of the community.
Okay, but what about the other content? I mean, she's put out content that is thought-provoking.
We are not talking about her beliefs. I don't care that she is a Garnerian, because all the traditionals finally learned a long time ago, not my tradition.
Okay.
We don't care about each other's tradition. What we care about is traditional craft, the community all the traditional covens and groups make up. Back in the day, if my elder or any elder banished somebody for being an oath breaker, for being a warlock, none of the other covens would touch them. They were banished. They were literally shunned. They were canceled, or whatever in the world you want to call it.
Right.
All right, we got this going on in the community now, and we have priestesses like Thorn Mooney who won't do their job and stand up going, no, this is bad for the community to have a warlock running around trying to teach people who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. From all I can tell is that Thorn Mooney has just came over and just shit on everything we've done. We worked for all the way back from the 70s and up. Because, again, she won't answer these questions, and why won't she answer them? Because they don't end with, buy my book, watch my monetized stuff, pay for my classes. Traditionalists do not charge for classes. A gift to the she cannot already be property of the she. Our souls are the she. You can't sell this stuff to us. We already have a right to the info. It's free. We teach to raise the consciousness, to raise spiritual awareness. We don't put a price tag on it and make it something for the fucking elite. All I keep on seeing is people like Thorn Mooney trying to change us more into something more like Scientology. You're only good until the money runs out, and then we throw you off to the side. The fact is that, yes, this upsets me emotionally. I do not like the ethics and morals that these people are teaching.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, we've long been taught to be basically outstanding citizens.
Right. We have to hold our...
It's that whole, don't let others speak evil of your good.
Right. Hold yourself to this standard and don't fall beneath it. All traditionalists that I know of, and if I'm wrong, please tell me, but all of us at least agree on the ethic of keep your word.
Right.
All right. We also have sayings that go along when that your actions and your words must be the same. And I'm sorry, Thorn Mooney's actions and words are not. She says she doesn't want a career in this, but yet she keeps doing it. If she wants to be part of the community again, the way I'm talking about, give your proceeds up from your book to a charity to put a place of worship in the middle of a town somewhere. Statues to a god and goddess so people can leave offerings and stuff like that. Unmonetize your channels. Start teaching for free again. Call out these warlocks that are out there doing this stuff, conning people, unless you're conning yourself. Because all of this started because she made 2 videos basically talking about me talking about this, the fact that they're conning you, that they're trying to lock down and everything to where only certain companies can write about craft and nobody else.
All right.
And just them. So they keep on changing the names. They keep on changing the words. And it's bullshit. They're lying.
All right. So, but some people are going to say, and you know, I don't necessarily agree with your tactics and how you've handled this, but you know, some people are going to say, aren't you just trolling these people?
Here's how this started. Like I said, she did those first 2 videos, which you listened to.
Yeah.
All right. And again, no, not 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure she was talking about me in both those videos. First one came out. I told her I did not disagree with her. I didn't dislike. She said, all I could ask, liked the thing and thumbs up and loved it. And then I went back and put a comment, then we can debate this. She hid that comment.
Okay.
All right. And I'm sorry, but if you're not brave enough to debate me, I don't think you should be brave enough to be talking about. I could be wrong there. So when she did her next video on the same damn thing again, I put out there, since you won't debate me, will you be a priestess to the community like you're supposed to be, like we offered, and call out Taya Kennedy for being a warlock? Because she broke her oath. She broke her word. And I've gotten silence. She can't even speak up for herself. Instead, she's got all these other people and hiding what I'm saying. Because again, the answer for her is not buy my book, pay for my classes, watch my videos so I can get more money.
At least that's the way it seems.
That's the way it seems. All I'm saying is her actions are not lining up with what in the world she's saying.
Right. I mean, I did see that conversation between you and the other person, actually a couple of other people, but there was one in particular who continued the conversation. And yeah, now anytime I log into YouTube, I can't see that conversation anymore.
Well, make it even worse. And here's my thought on this. I'm not above all this. If I break my word, please come after me. Teeth bared, ready to draw blood.
Right.
I would deserve it. If I'm off trying to con y'all out of your money, you need to call me out on it. I'm not above this. Neither are these people. Just because Thorn Mooney's an author don't make her all that in a fucking bag of chips. I'm not going to be silenced just like they're not. But my point there was, if she would have left them comments up, if she would have debated me, we would have actually had this conversation. We would have been able to work this out.
Right.
But no, what does she do? She runs and hides.
Well, at least that's the way it seems.
That's the way it seems. All right? I don't give a crap what in the world her personal problems are. That is her problems. Just like my problems are mine.
Right.
But when it comes to craft, we work as a community. The traditionalists are out there. I am not the only one that believes this way. There are a lot more of us than y'all think, I believe.
Yeah, but it's getting those other people to speak up.
It's getting them to speak up. It's getting them to say something. These same temples in which you know them just as well as I do. When we banished people, we literally banished people. There's still a guy going around, as far as I know, we refer to as the dead man, and not a single temple will actually touch them to this day. And we have no standards in craft. You got people out there that are seriously conning and making us look like a joke. When I sit there and fucking watch Batman cartoons and they're making fun of Wiccans,
right,
there's something that has to be done. It is a running joke in the greater community. We are not respected because of crap like this. Because we got warlocks there. Nobody will call it out. Oh, yeah, she's doing whatever she wants. No, I can't speak again. Yes, you can. Yes, you can speak against this stuff. You should speak up against this stuff. What happened to the whole entire thing of, if you see something, say something?
Right.
I mean, if I'm wrong, people are going to just blast me out of the water.
Well, I was going to say then too, most of the traditionalists I know, we all took an oath to basically protect the craft. And from what you're saying, it's like nobody's doing anything to do that anymore.
No. And even these other supposed traditionals. What does Thorn Mooney going to some big old fancy hotel have to do with preserving fucking craft?
Right.
Oh, no. I'm just showing off how much money y'all have given me. And I know people want to paint me as the bad person here, but we need ethics. We need morals. We need standards to live by. And we have to enforce those.
I was going to say, we need people to stand up for those standards, those morals, those ethics.
Right, because we don't believe any gods or anything is going to come after us. We don't believe in karma.
Right.
We don't believe in this whole entire threefold law like everybody else does. We believe that the only people that can hold us to those standards are ourselves, and we have to. We have to do it with as much aggression and whatever we have to. Because we do have to hold ourselves to those standards. We have to keep our words. We have to be responsible for our own actions. All right, and we have to try to maintain balance.
All right.
Now, that does not mean that I can understand where people think my actions are bad. And that's fine and dandy. But I can also see where some people go, I can understand why in the hell he's mad, too. And why in the world he does get upset. Everything I've learned, all these people keep on doing is coming over here and shitting on my religion and making us look like jokes.
Right, basically throwing dirt in your face. And
no, they're making themselves look bad, too. And they don't realize that. The pagan community at large, in the grand scheme of things, is a fucking joke. There's only very few people I can count on one hand that actually take it as seriously like we do.
Well, and I sort of believe all of that is due to the culture that's evolved to what it is now, and everything's social media related. And I believe that has something to do with it, because we're seeing all these, the little TikToks pop up, and people just throwing shit out there, and it's like, do you even hear yourself?
Well, what upsets me worse is when I put the video out there of Taya Kennedy being a warlock, people are like, okay, what? I don't get it. You don't even know. People in the community no longer know what we mean by keep your word.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it comes from all this social media bullshit that's being put out.
Oh, God, yes.
Because people are they're regurgitating what they're hearing and
not understanding.
And the quote-unquote influencers are just putting shit out there
to get money, to keep on building up their likes.
And I think that's where all this is coming from. There's no real information being put out there anymore.
No, I mean, and it's simple. Keeping your word. That means pay attention to what in the world you're saying. If you sit there and you tell me, I'll call you back in 5 minutes, that's my expectations. This is what you said. These are the words you said. Now, if that's not what in the world you meant, you should have said what in the world you mean. Because we do have a line, mean what you say what you mean. If it was going to be later in that day, say that. In today's business and stuff like that, people don't always have time to sit around waiting for you to do something.
Oh, Lord, no.
If you're waiting for somebody else to do something before you do it, you might as well forget it. Because nobody can keep their word anymore. Because nobody seems to understand what in the world this means. If you say you're going to do something, you do it come hell or high water. There's no getting out of it. The people that you make these don't care. These things that we make promises to the gods and all this other stuff, don't care if you're sick, depressed, or if they don't. Am I making any sense? And the only person doing this to themselves is yourself. You're making those promises, not me. I'm not twisting your arm. I mean, how hard is this? Well, apparently it's hard because nobody seems to know what in the hell it means by, what a warlock means, because everybody wants to say it's a male witch, which is a lie, to polish the word to make it look better.
Right.
Which we'll talk more about that later. But I'm just saying, the majority of the people that have this up trying to say it's male witch, they're the ones that have been accused of being a warlock. Somewhere in their videos, somewhere back there, if you dig back far enough, you're going to find out where they broke the word. Taya Kennedy is not a fucking traditionalist by any stretch of the imagination. She knows none of this. She has already demonstrated she doesn't even know what in the world it means that she's a word. And all traditionalists understand this. Have you ever met one that didn't?
No.
Even the ones that disagree with us vehemently on our beliefs?
No.
So where's our thorn moonies? Where's our priests and priestesses that are supposed to be leading this, ignoring this crap that's going on? Ignoring these unboxings, which is nothing more than a scam. How much longer until they're going to pay $35 for a box of dirt somebody pulled out of their backyard?
Right.
Oh, look, hey, I got special dirt. It's dirt.
Right. I've had a problem with stuff like that since my Christian days. Oh, look, it's holy water from the Holy Land.
It's a piece of wood. It's supposedly a piece of wood. It's supposedly a piece of wood from the cross, and everybody wearing it. I doubt it.
Right. So I mean, I've had a problem with stuff like that for a long time now.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
And
look, it's graveyard dirt.
And I'm sorry,
you can go get your own.
And all I see, and you're really going to die on this one. All I see is the people like Thorn Mooney and the rest of her gang is being nothing more than another PTL. All right? They're giving information out. They're giving worship and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, when you run out of money, they ain't going to have a damn thing for you. And if y'all don't know anything about PTL, look that up.
I mean, I don't know enough about her to be able to say that or to be able to speak to that.
Her actions are leading me to that belief because we believe more in actions than words. And especially when we're dealing with a situation like this, because apparently, no, she ain't broke her word, but she's fracturing an awful lot of shit.
I'm just saying, I can't argue this one way or the other because I don't know enough about her.
Right.
I've seen some of her videos. I've read some of her blogs. That's about it. So I can't speak to that.
So is there anything else that somebody might say or something that we want to go ahead and answer now that you might want to ask?
Well, some people are just going to say that you're just trolling these people. That you're just being an old codger and you're trying to stir up shit.
I understand that, and I do not know how to explain to people that I honestly and truly believe this from the bottom of my heart. I bought the line, the sinker, the whole 9 yards. I believe this stuff. I have seen it work. I have seen where people have broken their oaths and things have happened to them.
Right.
And I'm sorry, there's nothing anybody can do to change my beliefs on that. But I can pull out that I think what in the world these people are doing this way is wrong. You can have your occult shops and stuff like that, but if you're out there fucking teaching, your temple and your religion needs to be separate from that.
Well, and I think it's also like one of the last comments that I saw you make on that previous video, the comments that are now hidden, where you said something to the extent of, it's one thing to have your practice. That's your individual practice. I'm not telling you how to do that.
No.
Basically what you were saying was that these people shouldn't be teaching.
No, because I think they're immoral. And how in the hell are you going to teach somebody how to be moral when you yourself are not?
Right. So if you're not upholding the ethics of the craft, then you shouldn't be teaching anybody. You shouldn't be putting out these social media videos, TikTok, Twitter,
and I'm sorry,
YouTube. You shouldn't be putting this stuff out there.
And I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I'm tired of these fucking authors walking around like their shit don't stink. Y'all are not that big of a deal. There are other people that have this information. We do not require y'all.
Right.
The pagan community took these authors, put them up onto a pedestal, and now they're into a point to where in the world they think they're better than everybody else. Case in point, Taya Kennedy sat there and literally was like, when I pointed out that she was a warlock and what in the world she did, what was her response? It was just a servitor. You know who else had that thought? They're just savages. Put them in chains and let them do the floors.
Right.
This, again, shows me the mindset of this woman. This is how she thinks. In other words, if she'll break her word to something so meaningless to her, what's her to stop from breaking her word to you? The scamming everybody, taking their money for her little guild, basically her classes, and then running, or you find out that the stuff she's teaching you is just the same free stuff you can find out on the net.
Right.
How pissed are y'all going to be then? And me already sitting here telling you, temples teach what in the world she's teaching for free and do a hell of a lot better job. Because
right,
God forbid if I ever hear her say anything about a tool and Fey tools does not freaking exist. It's the sword of Lu, the spear in the water, the cauldron of the Dagda, and the stone of fucking destiny. Did you hear a word about Fey in there whatsoever?
Well, no.
And I'm not sure if I just reversed the sword in the...
Oh,
I know some people will laugh, but hey, at least I know I might have. I mean, but do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
there's stuff out there, and I'm sorry, the traditional community like us have been beaten down and put back into a box, back into the damn broom closet, because of the Wiccan community wants to believe there's such a thing as just declaring yourself whatever in the hell you want.
Right.
All right, so our ethics and morals are not out there, and they are decaying by the second.
Yeah, and we really need to get back to...
We need to uphold the standards in which our forefathers used.
Well, but that's the problem. A lot of the younger generations don't know that information. They're getting their information from the web. They're getting it from, all these videos and blogs, and none of the videos and blogs are presenting the information as we know it.
No, they're not.
So that information is not being taught. It's not being It's not being put out there.
No, I'm sorry. People like Thorn Mooney wants to ride the fence. They want their foot in a traditional community so they have that leverage and that seal of approval. But then they also want to be wicked and do whatever in the hell they want. I'm sorry, these two concepts do not mash together.
Right.
The traditional community is a community of different religions that all share common themes.
Right.
That's simple. This is traditional craft. What else you want me to say?
Is there anything else to say?
Is there anything else to say? And again, I really do believe this with all my heart.
Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another episode. Pagan Coffee Talk is brought to you by Life Temple and Seminary. Please visit us at lifetempleseminary.org for more information, as well as links to our social media: Facebook, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit.
We travel down this trodden path, a maze of stone and mire. Just hold my hand as we pass by a sea of blazing pyres. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning breaks. And so it is the end of our days, so walk with me till morning.